Welcome to the 504 podcast, number 3, the Jordan Pod. I'm Corey Rholdon, joined by Michael Foret. And Mike, disappointing week for the New Orleans Saints. Disappointing week. Up 17-0 against Jordan Love at home. Then Derek Carr goes down, which is kind of his own fault. Should have got rid of the ball to Jimmy Graham in the flat. He's got to realize his offensive line sucks. But after Carr was out the game, it was like a balloon deflating with this football team.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like all the momentum went away. I don't even know where to point the blame finger here. I mean, you can go in a number of different directions, but I mean, you just got to, in my opinion, you have to start off with Dennis Allen. I mean, I've lost all hope in Dennis Allen. I try not to overreact.
Why did you lose all hope on Dennis Allen with that game?
That was just the straw that broke the camel's back. I mean, that was
Like,
just.
why?
I mean, I didn't have much faith going into the season in him, but I mean, it's just if you look at like his track record as a whole.
But like, what did that?
Row.
I get the Dennis Allen narrative, but like to me, like that game is Pete Carmichael's play calling, not being aggressive enough when Jameis winning the game, and it's also Marshawn Lattimore's effort for not getting Jordan Love down. Really, I'm not going to put that on the defense because you're going to score in the NFL. The offense has to score some kind of points. If they scored any points during that span, the Saints win the game. So me, I put that more on Pete Carmichael because Dennis Allen isn't an offensive coach. And I'm going to be honest with you, Dennis Allen, I give credit to. Like, a lot of people hate Dennis Allen. The dude has, 11 straight games holding teams under 20 points. That's fucking ridiculous in the NFL.
Okay, yeah. So this is what like the point I was gonna make is that Dennis Allen's a coordinator, bro. He's not. You have to have some kind of oversight as a whole, as a head coach. I mean, if you're a head coach, you have to have oversight. If Pete Carmichael is not calling correct plays, tell him to step it the fuck up. Tell him to do this. Tell him to do that. I mean, you have to. He completely delegates the offense and has no oversight on anything else other than the defense.
Look, I'll defend here. Look, it's a bad loss. I think he does.
But he has a lot of bad losses. That's the problem. It's a constant theme here, and something needs to be changed.
They won 2 close games the 2 weeks before that. The season isn't over if you lose to the Packers on the road in Green Bay.
I'm just saying I've just had enough of Dennis Allen. I mean, the reality is I don't think Dennis Allen's a winning head football coach. I think he's a phenomenal defensive coordinator, and I think that's what he should be. I mean, the reality is he's going to get fired. He's going to go to a different team, become a great coordinator for that team.
So the Saints are making the playoffs this year now.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he's not. Do you think he's a Super Bowl head coach? Yes or no?
No, but he's not going to get fired this year because the Saints are still going to make the playoffs. The world isn't ending because of this loss.
No, I know, but I'm just out on Dennis Allen. Like, I just have no faith. Like, I mean, in reality, like, what are the Saints going to do in the playoffs? Like, win 1 game, maybe 2 if they're lucky. Like,
look, I agree with you. That was my point about tanking for Caleb Williams.
I think we're past that now.
Exactly. The goal now is to make the playoffs, and your ceiling's 1 win. This has been the goal the entire time. And this loss, how bad it is, you want to start 3-0. You want to, keep Derek Carr healthy. How bad this loss is, it's not derailing. Derek Carr is probably going to be out for 2 weeks. And if Jameis can't come in and beat the fucking Bucs with Baker Mayfield and a Patriots team that's struggling, then he's never going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL ever again.
Well, Jameis isn't a starting head quarterback in the NFL. I mean, that's the jury's. No, he definitely is not. I mean, there's enough sample size by now to know he's just a good backup QB. So
exactly, good backup QBs. He's. I'll probably take Baker before him, but he's on the same level as Baker Mayfield. You're at home. You're at home. Your defense is playing well. You have enough weapons, and you should be able to score enough points to beat Baker Mayfield at home with Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I mean they should be able to do it. I don't see why not. I mean, Tampa Bay is not a good team. I don't care what they've done so far. I mean, the talent, just talent wise, they don't really have it. I mean, the defense isn't bad, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just deflating after what's gone on last week. So,
But you're still
yeah,
2-1. You still have the pot. You went 2-0 for the first time since 2013. Yes, Derek Carr got hurt, but the schedule's fucking manageable. It's fine. All right. That world is not ending because of this loss. Saints fans, get out of your emotion on Twitter.
dude,
The
I'm
world
not.
is okay. I'm
I
not,
dude, I
I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying in general because I've been seeing all this stuff. Like hell is fucking burning up right now because the Saints lost to the Green Bay. Yeah, it's a 1 point loss in the NFL. All right.
Okay, but like if you honestly think I'm not complaining that we won, but if you like honestly look back at the wins we've had, it's kind of disappointing. Like you had Tannehill to 4 turnovers and you barely win that damn game to like
Yep.
a Tennessee team that's not good. And then you let the Panthers come back, who's a dog shit team right now, like just terrible. Like Bryce Young was in the headlights the entire time. Barely, like I wouldn't say barely win that game, but like you got by. And then you just blow a massive lead in this. It's like this team is better than that. And that's like my whole point with Dennis Allen. It's just like he's strictly defensive coordinator, has no oversight on anything other than the defense. So I just, as a head coach, you have to be better than that. You have to take some kind of responsibility. So Pete Carmichael, I mean, people are going to rip on him all day, and rightfully so. He's been, I wouldn't even say average at best. So it's just, I don't know. It's
I'll
just
give you that.
disappointing. Yeah,
I'll
I
give you
mean,
that. Like they're 2-1, but it's not like a playing well 2-1. I'll give you that. They should win
yeah.
because you want Carr, Kamara, so you can be able to check down. We all know Jameis is horrible at getting. It's going to be great for Olave and Rashid Shaheed. I'm gonna let you know. Like there's going to be one long ball touchdown this week with Jameis in. Maybe
I
take some
mean,
plays a little bit
you,
more running the football. But what's up?
oh, I mean, you sure? You sure there's gonna be a long play? I mean, they only called 2 bombs, or they only called 2 long aggressive plays a game, so I'm not even sure that's even
The
accurate. I
Saints
mean,
lead the
Jameis,
NFL and plays over 20 yards right now.
it doesn't seem like it. It just seems like their play calling is way too conservative for what has happened. I mean,
They,
do you
they lead
not?
the NFL in long plays this year.
Yeah, but does it seem like that offense is aggressive to you when the eye test? The eye test
No,
is like absolutely not.
no, but stats are stats. You want to talk about LSU?
I kind of want to keep ripping on the Saints. Makes me feel good.
Good. We can talk about this. I'll tell you this too. Marshawn Lattimore had his game where, the first 2 weeks he's the best cornerback in the NFL. Who the fuck's the Packers receiving core? Excuse my language, but who's the Packers receiving core? Who's the Packers receiving core? We're fumbling like the Saints right now in the back. Who's the Packers receiving core? So Marshawn Lattimore's just sitting there like, yeah, I'm going to have a bullshit game. At least Alontae Taylor played very well. Alontae Taylor's a star. They couldn't get any pass rush. So you know what? I'm sitting there watching the Saints pass rush on Monday night. I'm watching it. Plays for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, every time I see Hendrickson, I always liked Hendrickson, but whenever he gets a
They had like
sack, I'm
3
just like,
sacks
oh,
that game.
yeah, it's I would trade Davenport, Turner, and a pinky for fucking Hendrickson. So it sucks, but it happens. I mean, it's crazy. Like when you look around NFL rosters. I mean, I'm watching this freaking Lions game right now. You see Anzalone flying over the field, and like all like Saints scouting department's really good. So I would say it's one of the better ones in the NFL. But yeah, you can't keep them all. But
Yeah,
I am glad we did pay Carl Granderson. I thought that was a nice little deal.
really nice.
Pay him while you can now before he gets on the open market and gets bigger money. I mean, he's played well. He hustles. I just like guys that hustle, like high motor guys, and he's one of them. So,
Mike, you know who has regressed a lot?
who?
He's regressed so much. Ryan Ramczyk.
Yeah, I really don't know why. Is he getting old? I mean, he's getting older, but he's not that old. Like he should
Not
be.
due to injuries getting to him.
I don't know. I mean, he should be in his prime or towards the tail end of his prime. It's not like he's I mean, he's not the player he was, but he's still pretty damn good. Which is
He's
concerning.
struggling this year. Struggling.
Yeah. But like, think of if let's say like he like retires earlier, if he goes down, like dude, the Saints offensive line is in serious trouble. I mean, you really, in all reality, you really have McCoy's like the only like starter you can really rely on. Then Ruiz is like borderline you can rely on. Like the offensive line would be in serious trouble.
Yeah, and you spent what 4 first-round picks and 5
Connection
offensive line. Ramczyk, Penning, first-round pick. Ruiz, first-round pick. And Andres Pete, first-round pick. And McCoy, second-round pick.
Yeah, McCoy, I'm a massive fan of. I've always thought he was underrated, but yeah, it'd be a disaster if he went down.
Hey, you want to talk about disasters? I'm covering a disaster right now. It's called the Denver Broncos. And look, Sean, tell people in New Orleans this, it's a losing roster. Sean's going to have an off season where he can get all the losing mentalities. It's a team hasn't had a winning season since 2016. So there's a lot of dudes on that team who are just used to losing, right? Don't have effort. I think they need to just continue to suck. Just suck it up. And there's a guy coming in to fill out coming into Boulder this week named Caleb Williams that they need to suck for.
Dude, even if they don't get Caleb Williams, you still got Drake May and you still got Penix and you got that guy from Washington State who's, lighting it up as well. So it's a deep, great. Yeah, probably one of the better ones. Yeah. I mean, Ewers as well. I mean, there's a lot of talent in this draft. So, even if May is considered a consolation, I wouldn't say he's a consolation prize. Like he probably would have gone. He would have gone number one in this year's draft over Bryce Young. So, yeah, I mean, if you're Denver, why not? I don't understand why you'd want. I mean, you'd want to. Peyton obviously wants to win, huh?
I'm gonna say this: Russ is not the problem with this football team. Russ is playing average 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, throwing about 265 a game, completing 65% of his passes. Russ is not the problem. The defense is horrible, and they don't have enough weapons, to be honest.
Judy? Is Judy doing anything this year?
No. Courtland Sutton's the best receiver right now.
Did he tear? Who tore his ACL in the beginning of the year? Wasn't it somebody?
There's a Stern, a safety.
No, I thought they had a receiver that tore their ACL.
No.
Maybe it was last year.
Javonte Williams, the running back, tore his ACL.
That was last year, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh. But, yeah, I mean, that, and then they drafted KJ Hamler. He's not even on the team, right? No. Yeah,
he got hurt. He got hurt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, Russell. I don't think Russell Wilson's playing great, but he's not the one giving up 70 points a game. So, yeah, I mean, when Sean Payton came to the Saints, he cleared house. I mean, he got rid of like marquee players, and he wanted to build a culture through the locker room. So, I think he's going to have to do that again. But I mean, he kind of got the job a little later, so I think he'll be fine. I mean, people want to rip and overreact, but yeah, I mean, if you suck it up. Suck it up. You get a QB, sit behind Wilson for a year or whatever it may be.
A lot of cap space.
A lot of cap space. Yeah, they'll be fine long term, I think, but we'll see.
It's good for the Saints. They get that second round pick pretty high.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone's like ripping on Denver. I'm like, this is great. I mean, we'll get a pick in like 33 to 35.
34, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, that'll be nice. And then maybe, I don't know where the Saints will pick, if they make the playoffs, late 20s, or 20s.
You want to jump on LSU real quick?
Yeah, what you want to start off with?
Good win. Arkansas is always a tough opponent. Jaden Daniels looked really good in the second half. Malik Neighbors, first round talent receiver, he's been incredible the last couple of weeks. Defensively, the secondary's like the Broncos. It's burnt toast. D line's been disappointing. Glad they put Harold Perkins back in Harold Perkins role. Overall, I mean, it's a solid team, but I'm gonna say this: the SEC down this year. It's the worst the SEC's been in a long time, and it's the best the Pac-12's been since about 2005-06. It's a weird year in college football.
Yeah, I mean, people say that now. I always say be patient because end of the year, you never know who's going to be there. I mean, Bama's not that good this year, but you never know. There's still Bama. LSU could still creep up. I mean, there are teams out there that could creep up and do something. But
what are they 3-6 against other conferences this year?
who? The SEC?
It's 3-6.
Yeah, that's not very good. Georgia. I mean, Georgia's still pretty good, but
No, Georgia's Georgia, but that's what I'm saying. The top's good because the Georgia's good, but outside of Georgia, what team you're like, oh fuck?
What's Tennessee doing this year?
They lost to Florida. Florida lost to Utah without Cam Rising.
Well, that's kind of been the SEC every year. They kind of cannibalize each other, right? So I don't know. It's a long season. I mean, the Pac-12, seems like it's the same shit every year, you know.
It's the best the Pac-12's been.
Oh yeah, I mean I agree with that, but I'm talking about like we'll see. We'll like come playoff time, you know, we'll see what they do. So
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the mood in Colorado since that
It's fine.
ass whipping?
So look, I'm being honest. People, all right. Let me put some things in perspective because people don't understand this. Colorado has sucked the last 20 years. Colorado was really good in the 90s. Cordell Stewart won a national title in 1990, was dominant for about 10 years there, early part of 2000. Since about 2002, they've made like 3 bowl games. They haven't sold out their stadium. They won 1 game last year. 1. Dion comes in, built a whole new roster. That roster has flaws. It's obvious flaws. Really good in the skill position, horrible in the trenches. You win in the trenches. But Dion has already, in his first 3 games at Colorado, tripled his win total from the previous year. So you exceeded expectations in your first 3 games. Colorado, like the win total was like 4, 3.5. So you basically exceed expectations in your first 3 games. Of course, there's a lot of hype. Dion is Dion. Dion's been the same guy. Prime time has been the same guy since the 1990s. If y'all don't know this, go watch the 30 for 30 documentary. The dude played a baseball game and a football game in the same day. So if you're mad for him and his son's talking shit, you know, they're going to talk shit this week to USC because guess what? That's who the fuck they are. Like, that's just him. You know, like, that ain't changing. That's Dion. And the recruits love it. They got all these celebrities. They're going to be good next year. I think they play a good game against USC because USC is not like Oregon where they're really good up front. USC struggled at Arizona State, who's the worst team in the Pac-12. Colorado has a shot against any team that is not going to pound the ball down their throats. Oregon pound the ball down their throats, and Bo Nix was efficient defensively. They had pass rushers to get after Shedeur Sanders, make his life miserable. Oregon was a complete nightmare matchup for Colorado. This week, USC's defense is fucking terrible. It's going to be a high-scoring game, and it's going to be really fun. But I think they get to 8 or 7 wins this year. And if he gets to 8 or 7 wins this year, he's coach of the year.
Yeah, I think so too. I kind of said a few podcasts ago, like people should pump their brakes on Colorado. They beat a TCU team. I was like, oh, they play the national championships. Like, yeah, well, they lost like, you know, a bunch
I
of
still
NFL
think
players.
that's a good win.
It's a good win, but like they lost
Yeah.
people over overhyped TCU, old national championship. Well, they lost half their fucking offense. So
you're right. You're right. Also, Mike, with that, it's kind of my point. TCU, not great up front, not winning the line of scrimmage often. Really good skill position. If you put Colorado's skill position or a lot of people's skill position, it's gonna hang in there, right? Maybe not against USC, but it's gonna hang in there. If you're not great up front and you allow Colorado to kind of be in the middle of that pack up front, they're going to be hanging in there and possibly win those games. That's why Washington State, UCLA, they're going to get killed. Utah's going to fucking murder them. Utah's incredible up front. Like, that's going to be a massacre.
they play tomorrow. Wait, what's the game tomorrow night? Utah, Oregon
tomorrow
State.
Night, it's a good one. It's Utah and Oregon State.
Oregon State's favored.
Yeah, because Cam Rising's not playing.
Oregon State. Is he playing at all?
Utah has won all their games without Cam Rising. That's how good they are.
So Cam Rising hasn't played at all. Because I remember he was out for the Florida game. What's wrong with him?
That's a great question. I can't answer that.
No one knows. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, kind of going back to Colorado USC. What's the over/under in this game? Like 1,000?
I don't know, but USC's favored by 21 and a half.
Dude, the over/under is 73.5. I mean,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my gambling lock as an over. Just I don't give a shit what the over is. It's gonna hit. I mean, that game's gonna be, dude. That's so many points, but I really don't care. That's like one of those lines where you see it so high, you're like, okay, why? Just take the over. That's so dumb. So, yeah, I don't. They could. Neither team could stop a nosebleed. Yeah, kind of going back to LSU. What do you think about them this week against Ole Miss? I think it's a tough game.
It's a really tough game, and it's at Ole Miss. 2 years ago, they lost at Ole Miss. Last year, that was kind of like their breakout game last year. The game they got confidence when they destroyed Ole Miss in the second half. Jackson Dart playing okay, didn't play great against Alabama. I think if you win this game, you're sitting there like the next big game is Alabama.
Well, I mean, Auburn.
Auburn's not good.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a rollover game. Like, you can't sleep on Auburn. I mean,
I've been sleeping on Auburn since they haven't won 7 games in 4 years.
Yeah, but it's still like a
rivalry game. I know.
Yeah, I mean, Mizzou, okay, fine, whatever. But I mean, Auburn, that's still going to be. I wouldn't say an easy game, nor I'd say a tough game. Like I wouldn't sleep on them. Yeah, I mean, LSU just has a tough schedule every year. It seems like so.
Yeah, dude. What is your thoughts on this game?
I think, dude, if they start off slow, I think they'll be in serious trouble. I really do.
Yeah, just the pace and yeah.
Yeah, if they start off slow, like they have to start off like they did with the Mississippi State game. Like they have to be aggressive because like I do like Lane Kiffin's approach to things. Like goes on fourth down a lot. Like very aggressive play caller. Yeah, like he knows that LSU secondary isn't the best, so he's going to be aggressive. Yeah, he's no idiot. So I think he will try and make the game. He will be aggressive. That's what I'm pretty much saying. But yeah, and then they have to establish the run. If LSU is a much better team whenever they establish the run.
Caleb Jackson.
Logan Diggs has been pretty good too.
Oh, he's been great. But just give my boy Caleb Jackson the rock.
What's the ideal amount of touches he should get? Like 10? 12?
Give him 10.
Give him that like Alvin Kamara role kind of thing?
No,
I mean receiving wise, but touches wise.
Yeah. Just give him the football and let him pound it down your throat. He's gonna be special, man.
Yeah, I think.
I've been telling you for weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I don't think they're trying to overuse him. I mean, they have so many backs, so
yeah.
I mean, they got 100 backs.
Diggs has been great. Diggs is perfect for that offense too. And
Josh Williams, Josh Williams hasn't played that much.
No,
Yeah,
but he's still reliable.
and then
They got the leader back.
Noah Kane doesn't play that much. Who am I missing?
Dude, I remember
Trey Holly doesn't
Bradford.
play.
Dude,
Bradford.
Bradford came out the first fucking play of the season.
Yeah, they went for like 80
I
yards.
was like, Trey Bradford's like 7th on the depth chart. What is going on here?
Dude, that's my point. LSU has to play week 0 game. Like they have to do it. Move Southern or Grambling or whoever the hell they play next year. One of those throwaway games. Move that to week 0. I'm pleading with LSU. I'm so tired of this shit. Like they were playing guys that like aren't even playing now. Like you said, Trey Bradford. They were using Harold Perkins as a middle linebacker. Whit Weeks is taking over the linebacker spot. He didn't play one snap that week. Like
He's
just
been good.
he's been amazing. Yeah. I mean, and then I
As a
mean
freshman.
the linebacker spot for LSU has been kind of a question mark, but now
Yeah.
it kind of seems like a strength. I mean, Greg Penn's been pretty good. Perkins is good if you even classify him as a linebacker. Whit Weeks. I mean, Spates was kind of supposed to be your guy this year, and he might be third now. Yeah, he got hurt.
He's still going to play.
Yeah, he's going to play. I think it's going to be a big rotation between all the guys, and then hopefully Deshaun Womack can come in there. He had a good. He only played like 6 plays last week, and he had a sack. I'm like, okay, well, it's a 5-star. Start playing him. Like, why not? So, I mean, I don't know. I think LSU will be good this week. Do you think they'll cover 2.5 or no?
Dude, before the season, dude, I had LSU 11-1, and this is their one loss I had.
For Ole Miss?
Sleeper game, bro. I thought it would be a sleeper, Lane a little bit of edge. They lost last year. I feel like Lane's got like several plays up. Just that atmosphere.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Lane train's going to be up to some shit this Saturday. I have a feeling. I don't think it's going to be some kind of
look. I'm not going to sit here and look. I'm not going to pick this game.
Why not?
Because my gut's telling me one thing, my heart's telling me another.
All right. Well, let's do something neutral. What about over under? Let's see what it is.
I'm gonna take. What is it?
67.
I'm gonna take the under, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because college football is different now, where
the clock runs.
Yes, that's why. You know, they had the ball up and down the field this past week, and I didn't get to 67. What was it, 34, 31 out of 65? That didn't get to 67.
One thing you always do notice, too, when LSU and Ole Miss play is the linemen. The linemen for LSU are always offensive and defensive, so much bigger than Ole Miss. Yeah, every single year. So I would think Brian Kelly, if I were Brian Kelly, I would have a big focus on a run. Yep.
Run the ball.
Start off hot and be aggressive. So yeah, Brian Thomas too. He's kind of
dude,
I've always been high on him.
Yeah, but like he'll
have an occasional drop, but
he blanks out, bro. He loses focus. Super talented, loses focus.
I'm surprised. Like who's like their third guy? They haven't really had a third guy.
Tyron Lacey's, since he started dropping balls, kind of fell off the map. They got Hilton.
They don't really use Hilton. It's like Neighbors. It's like running.
Mason
it's like
Taylor.
Yeah, Mason Taylor, but he gets like 3 catches a game, it seems like. But it's weird because they're always like big catches. So you're like, oh, he's doing more than what he actually is. There really isn't that third guy. I would have thought Chris Hilton would have been that guy coming in, but
yeah,
I don't know. LSU's media is so deceptive, bro. Like they say so much shit, and then like the complete opposite happens. So oh, Trey,
at me,
huh?
Throwing shade at my former self.
No, I'm saying like just like all the reports out of like LSU camp, it's like, oh, this guy lights it up, and then like next thing you know, he doesn't play. It's like, okay, I don't get it. It's like that every fucking year. I honestly don't get it.
Yeah, well, I've been hot. My one game.
It's not like it's
Caleb Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a specific dig. It's just like everyone reports the same thing. Like a group of like 100 people report the same thing. Next thing you know, you don't even fucking hear from him. It's like, all right, like,
God damn it. Zach, if you're listening to this, Mike is saying do a better job.
No, I'm not saying do a better job. I'm saying collectively, you guys need to get together and figure this out, because I just like I hear one thing every year and then like the complete opposite's true. Like you said, Trey Bradford 7th on the depth chart. You didn't hear a peep. Next thing you know, he has 80 yards on the first play.
Oh, you still on the roster?
Yeah. I was like, who the fuck is that guy? I was like number 32. Like, who is that? And he fucking has an 80-yard catch. I'm like, oh, it's Trey Bradford, the guy who transferred 17 times
Yeah.
in like 3 months. I was like, oh, okay. And I'm just like, I don't.
Wasn't on the team last year. Didn't play football a season ago.
Yeah, and then they were like, Chris Hilton like looks good in camp. Like, what does he have? Like 2 catches this year. It's like, I don't get it. I guess it's kind of consistent with the NFL too, right? It's like you hear guys in training camp, and then like next thing you know, they don't even make the roster. So like A.T. Perry, you haven't even heard from him. You got Keith Kirkwood doing dumb shit for the Saints.
It's like why is Keith Kirkwood the 4th receiver?
Dude, I have no idea. I tweeted that. I'm like, how is this guy getting play time? What does this guy do? Like
you got those 3 dominant receivers, and then you got Kirkwood.
What a luxury it is to have Michael Thomas be your 3rd receiver now. I mean, he's clearly not the player he was, but he's still pretty good. Like,
he is.
It's so weird too. Like every game, he'll get like the first 2 games, the first half, he literally got like no catches. No. The first 2 games, he had like 6 receptions or something like that. And the second half, he didn't get like any targets or any receptions. I only know this because I'm in fantasy, so like it's so frustrating. But like
it's a Olave in the second half.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just so inconsistent. But yeah, I mean, we're jumping all over the place with teams here, but I really don't care. Yeah, it is what it is.
What do we have, betting?
Yeah, I didn't really see any lines that jumped out to me. Like I said, I'm taking that over on that USC game. I don't care if it's set at 100. I mean,
I agree with that. I agree with that too.
Georgia, Auburn.
Dude, take Georgia. They're going to steamboat Auburn. Georgia also has been playing lackluster, so this is their game to kind of be like, okay, we're still Georgia.
Let's see. Georgia's last 5. I don't know. Look at that.
Because they struggled against South Carolina a little bit.
Over-under's 45.5. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think this is going to be like a 38-3 ball game, 38-7.
You want to hear?
What's up?
You want to hear a fun money line that I don't think will hit, but it will just be fun for shits and giggles?
What?
Kansas at Texas.
Dude, because fuck it, I'll put $5 on that one.
Make it 10, buddy. Dude, why not?
Dude, Kansas always beats Texas in that game. It's right, and Kansas is actually pretty good this year.
That's what I'm saying. They're 4-0. They're ranked. I mean, Texas is going to Texas is going to Texas at some point. Let's be real here, people. So is this the game? I don't know, but I mean, they're
historically
16.5-point dogs. I mean, did they beat them last year? I feel like they did.
No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay. Yeah. It's not, if you're bored and you want to, shoot for the moon.
Look,
I don't think it's the worst bet.
Take Oregon State this week. Just do money line because that game's still going to be close. Utah is really good. Utah is the best team in the Pac-12, but they don't have Cam Rising. Oregon State lost last week in a close game at Washington State by 3. They're still a really good football team. I think they actually get this done at home Friday.
Could see it. I mean, they're favored, so yeah. Money, I mean, those spreads, those like 3.5 to 5.5 point spreads are always kind of weird. So I agree. I always like the money line in those spreads, even if goes 2-1. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Notre Dame 5.5 versus Duke.
Look, I think Duke's frauds. I think Notre Dame beats them by a touchdown.
Yeah, Notre Dame's going to come out pissed too. I don't think they're going to.
They should have won that game. How do you have 10 people after a timeout?
It's all Brian Kelly's fault. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. South Carolina plus 12 versus Tennessee. I like that. South Carolina is not a bad team. 2 and
They're
2 is a
not.
little 2 and 2 is a little
They pissed
misleading.
me off during week 1 when I had them beating Drake May and Duke, but
But they've been in every game, right?
yeah, what's their record? Did they beat
They're
Mississippi?
2 and 2. They beat they lost by 14 to UNC, but that's a little misleading. They beat Furman, massive win. At Georgia, they were in that game till like I don't know, middle of the third, fourth quarter, and then it kind of went apart. But they still only lost by 10, and then they beat Mississippi State by 7. They're not a bad team, and the Tennessee's really not that good. Damn, dude, they lost by 13 to Florida.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Jeez, yeah,
And Florida sucks. No offense to your buddy Billy Napier, but Florida sucks.
Nah, he's not my buddy. He left UL. He did his thing at UL, and I appreciate it, but
Oh,
that's Zach's boy. Zach's almost a Florida fan at this point.
I hate to be a Florida Gator.
Just kidding, Zach. Don't kill me. Yeah, I don't know. If you want a long shot money line, fuck it parlay. Go to South Carolina, Kansas, and then you pay off your mortgage.
Oregon State, if you want to be smart.
Yeah, I mean there's some fun lines, and if you really want to get wacky tobacco, throw in Colorado versus USC.
Dude, I'm gonna do that no matter what. I'm gonna be at that game, by the way.
I need to calculate these odds. Huh?
So I saw the celebrity list, right? Yeah, like Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Will Ferrell, Matthew McConaughey. Dude, who else? There was a couple other. Oh, LeBron. I was like, dude, like, god damn, man. It's a lot of celebrities in that one game in Boulder. That stadium's really cool, by the way. I'll tell you that. With the mountain background, it's got the old red brick. It's like an old stadium, so it's got that old kind of feel, like in the middle of the neighborhood, and then it's got the mountains in the background. It's pretty sick. It's one of my favorite stadiums I've actually been to. Right?
Really?
It's better than a lot of like the Big Ten stadiums I went to. Like I went to Iowa. Iowa's cool because the fans are cool. But stadium-wise, give me Folsom, which is Colorado. I've been to Purdue and Indiana, and Minnesota's cool because you got the skyscraper in the background. But I would still take Colorado over a lot of those stadiums. I'll take Colorado.
Minnesota's indoors, isn't it?
No, it's outdoors.
Did it used to be indoors?
Yes. Yeah, it was the mini dome before they built the new stadium.
When was the new stadium built?
You know the Viking stadium they used before they after like the roof caved in, the outdoor stadium?
Yeah.
That's Minnesota Stadium.
Speaking of Minnesota, UL is going to wax that ass this week.
No.
I hope so, dude. UL needs a big win. They're due. Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's anything else that's jumping out at me.
Minnesota.
Alabama 14.5 versus Mississippi State.
Yeah, dude. Like Alabama's not what people like. They're not bad. Like people are like overreacting that loss to Texas.
I think they can cover 14.5. I'd buy down that half point though.
Yeah, but Mississippi State's not good.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Mike Leach.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun spreads. If you want to get weird, there's a lot of stuff you could tinker with. Kentucky 1 point favorites. Michigan.
So we need to talk about Dame.
Oh yeah, all right. How we get this far and not talk about it?
All right, it's the last thing, bro. Look, the surprise team, and respect to Milwaukee for being a small market team. It screws us with the fucking picks. It does. It screws us with the picks. But respect to Milwaukee for going all in and utilizing, because it's really a perfect match, because Giannis is gonna have space now. Because if you build a wall with Damian Lillard on the court, God bless you, because them bombs are gonna be flying. Them bombs are gonna be flying. Hell of a trade for the Bucks. It sucks to see Drew Holiday go, especially after he said he wanted to stay in Milwaukee. His whole career sucks. I think he could go to Miami or Boston or one of those teams. Maybe the fucking Pelicans make a call. I don't know. I don't think so, cap wise and everything. But yeah, good trade. And then
Yeah.
and then the Suns move off of DeAndre Ayton, right?
Yeah, they did. DeAndre Ayton landed in probably like the best position possible, in my opinion.
Yeah, because he gets to be a star there.
Yeah, he's in a no pressure situation. He's a good player, but he's not like elite
He's not
or
Bam. He's
yeah,
not.
he's not like a top tier center, but he's got skills. He's just
Yeah.
like a little bit softer. I don't know. But yeah, he's literally in like the perfect position because they're loaded with guards and most of the attention is gonna be on Scoot Henderson. I was looking at their team, dude. Their team, if they decided to keep Holiday and then maybe just flip him at the deadline,
Yeah.
like, dude, their team is actually pretty good. They got I'll read it to you. They got Holiday, Ayton, Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, and Jeremy Grant. That's a pretty good starting five. Like, there's really no weak spots. I mean, defensively, you're a little screwed, but besides Holiday, but
Yeah.
that's actually not the worst team in the world. If you just wanted to throw a basketball out there and see what happens. So I think that team can make the play in, but I mean their intentions are probably to tank, honestly. I really don't know, but yeah, if the Blazers just wanted to sit back and flip Drew Holiday at the deadline,
Yeah.
I don't think that's the worst, course
Move.
of action. But yeah, I was thinking about we talked about the Pelicans briefly. I think that would obviously include CJ. You're not going to include Ingram or Zion because you need to match the salaries. But yeah, it would get weird if you did CJ because then it would be like you'd have to be like Dyson Daniels in a second round pick or something as well. So, but I don't know I think the Blazers could get better offers for that. I don't know why the Blazers would do that.
And also, talking about the Pelicans, dude, like Birdie at it. Birdie at the injury shit. Did you see Jose's out for 2 to 3 weeks? So is Larry Nance. Trey Murphy out. Dude, I'm sitting over here hoping this team can get healthy and make a run. But I'm also about to cover Jokic and the Nuggets. So, I mean, what the fuck are we doing? Like, why do we keep having this problem?
It's we're in mid-season form.
Is it humidity or something?
There's probably some kind of voodoo. There's probably some kind of voodoo doll out there. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, the optimistic view is like, oh, at least it's happening now and not in the middle of the season. So, I mean, Larry Nance is always hurt. I mean, I don't think he's ever had a season where he hasn't been, missed at least 20 games. It feels like so. I don't think he's going to miss any games as of now, but you never know. Yeah, the Pelicans, they're frustrating, man. It's hard to be a fan of this franchise, but they give you so much hope. So it's it's fun, I guess, but also extremely annoying. But
hey, rebellions are built on hope.
The what?
Rebellions are built on hope. Great movie, by the way. Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't know. Pelicans. We'll see. Like any other kind of stereotypical comment, it all hinges on Zion. So, but yeah, dude, would you even go all in on Holiday if you could? Like, I don't even know what that entails. Like,
no.
That move, if you went all in on Holiday, that move would completely hinge on Zion because he's not a number 2 on a championship team. I don't care what anyone says. He's a very good player, but he's not that kind of guy.
No, I wouldn't.
That's how I like to break down rosters. Like, you got to look at, like, is this guy number 1 on championship teams? Is this guy number 2? Is this guy number 3? And then you just need all your role players. Like, do you think Ingram's a number 2 on a championship team? I think he is. Yeah, he's definitely a bona fide 3, like, no doubt about it. But 2, yeah.
Yeah.
What? And then the big question is Zion, but no one knows if he can stay healthy.
But Zion stays healthy, yes.
Yeah, Zion stays healthy. I think he's good enough for number 1.
So,
I don't know.
We'll see. Is that it, brother?
Is there any other major news that went on?
Not really.
I feel like there was something.
I don't know. I hear y'all having saltwater problems, so.
Oh yeah, they declared a national state of emergency or something. I don't know.
Oh, dude, it's beautiful over here, bro. It's sunny every day, 75. I was in the
Yeah, I was just,
garden today. Oh, glorious.
yeah, I was just in Boston last week or a few days ago, and it's like, oh, every time I leave Louisiana, it's
Oh,
like,
how was Fenway?
dude, Fenway is so cool. I'm not gonna lie, dude. It was like they were playing the. I went to go see the White Sox game, like the most useless game ever. Like both teams are out of it. It was like it was basically sold out. Like it had to have been like
You kind
95%
of feel
full.
the history. Like I felt the history when I walked through Wrigley. When you walk through Fenway, you're like just walking through and seeing everything. Like, oh shit, it's cool.
Yeah, so like the seats, I don't know what it's called. Like the first like 20 or 30 rows are like nice seats, and then you get to like the grandstand we're sitting, which are still really nice seats. They're not like the viewing seats, like the view was really nice, but the seats were like just like old. Like
Oh really?
yeah, the old as shit, so uncomfortable, but it was like so cool. Like you're sitting in the seat probably like thousands and thousands of people have sat in before, so if not millions. I mean, it's really
And
cool. There's really not a bad seat in that place, like at all. There really isn't.
did anybody try to sell you a sponge
A sponge? I don't get it.
from Fever Pitch, man? You ever watch
Oh,
Fever Pitch?
I watched Fever Pitch when I was like 12 years old, so I don't remember it. But no, yeah, no. But Fenway definitely cool. Then I went to a Bruins preseason game, dude. That was really fun. I'm not gonna lie, dude.
Uh-huh.
Boston's the best sports town in America. There's
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
yeah, I
Every,
agree.
every like 7 or 8 people had either like a Patriots thing on, a Bruins thing on, a Celtics thing on, or a Red Sox thing on. Like I've never really seen that in the city. Like just someone just constantly repping their team. Like it was crazy. So very impressive, Boston. I thought it was a great trip.
Yeah, it's also like a clean city too, huh? They like changed their undergrounds, like all the roads are underground or something. Is that right?
Um, you're saying that roads are underground now?
Yeah, like they changed like the interstate where it's not like in the middle of the city anymore.
Um, Not really. I mean, it was nice. I mean, it's definitely cleaner than like New York. Like it's just it was just nice. I liked it. You felt safe like walking around the city. Yeah, I was just a big fan. The people were really cool.
Did you have
Yeah,
lobsters?
I had lobsters. I had clam chowder like at like 4 different restaurants. Every restaurant I went to, like I had to get clam chowder. Like had
Yeah.
to do it. And then lobster, I got it like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, I'm not the biggest on lobster, but I got it.
Was it better than lobster here
So
or?
like their seafood's really good, but they don't like Louisiana's really hard to beat because like they don't season their food there. So like you kind of have to like, you know, put hot sauce or whatever they have there to like make it taste kind of like what here. But yeah, the food here is definitely better. But they're like the seafood there is pretty good. They just don't season it like we do. I don't think anyone really does, to be honest with you. So, but no, it was good. I had a great trip. So
All right. All right,
yeah.
brother. Well, stay safe, man, and talk to you next week.
All right, we'll see you guys. If you guys can like and subscribe, really appreciate it.
The 504 Michael Jordan time. Colorado money line. Don't do it. Don't waste your money. Don't do it.
No, it's gonna hit.
All right. Bye.